today we will discuss permanent tissue. We were discussing second chapter of biology of ninth class, that is tissue. So plant cells are divided into two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. In the previous session we have already discussed meristematic tissue and now we will discuss permanent tissue. That what is permanent tissue and what are their various types. So let's get started. Permanent tissues. We can also write this permanent tissue in short form as PTS. Now let us see the different features of permanent tissues. First of all, what is permanent tissues? Meristematic tissue, when lost their ability to divide, it turns into permanent tissue. So, first feature of permanent tissue is that meristematic tissue So, meristematic tissue, when lost their ability to divide, it turns into permanent tissue. Another feature of permanent tissue is that it exhibits differentiation process. Differentiation is a process in which a cell takes up a definite shape, size and function. So this is called differentiation process, and this permanent tissues exhibit differentiation process, in which cells of permanent tissues takes up a permanent shape, size and function. So differentiation is the process in which cells of permanent tissues takes up a permanent shape, size and function. So this differentiation process This differentiation process produces a variety of permanent tissue. So permanent tissue is nothing. It is meristematic tissue. When lost their ability to divide, it turns into permanent tissue. Permanent tissue exhibits differentiation process in which cells of permanent tissue takes up a permanent shape, size and function. And this differentiation process produces a variety of permanent tissues. So let us see the Classification of permanent tissues. These permanent tissue are divided into simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissues. This simple permanent tissue are again divided into two types. First is supportive permanent tissue, and other one is protective permanent tissues. Supportive permanent tissue are of three types. First is parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. Protective permanent tissue are also of two types, epidermis and cork. And this complex permanent tissue are of two types. First is xylem and second one is phloem. So this is the types of permanent tissue. Permanent tissues are divided into two types, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue are further divided into two types, supportive and protective. Supportive are again divided into three types, parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, while this protective tissue are of two types, epidermis and cork, and this complex permanent tissue is divided into xylem and phloem. So this is all about permanent tissue and their types. Thank you.